The World to the Social Network Show. This is Jim Nico with my esteemed co-host, Dr. J, Professor Jane Karwoski, who will take over from here.
Thank you, Jim. We're going to be talking with Cheyenne Montiel Reagan, who is a producer of a new comedy series. And we have with us also Emma Kaltreiter, who is the star actor of that series. And we are very happy to have you both with us. I think I would like to start with you, Cheyenne, as the producer. How do people usually produce a comedy series, and how does that compare with how you're doing it?
Okay, sure. Normally, people produce for TV. That's the standard. It takes a lot of money, a lot of A-list names attached to even get a pilot. So what I'm doing is I'm removing myself from the network and doing it independently to start a new way of entertainment on the internet. The internet gives me a platform of my own network. And to be able to produce something, I just say when and where. And if I have the idea, that's what we're doing with Off and Running.
So it's another example of how the internet is empowering people to just do their own thing and not have to go through all the standard steps, which typically, as you mentioned, include a whole lot of money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so what was your overall plan on how you're doing this? Can you start with the beginning, how you got the idea and so forth?
Yeah. I had just finished writing a feature film. It was a true story based about the Iranian Revolution in '79. And that's a huge accomplishment, getting out of college to complete something of such great, intense history behind it. But I wasn't exactly feeling complete in my life path. So I was talking to a friend and she's like, well, what makes you really happy? And I'm like, watching Saturday Night Live. That makes me really happy. She's like, well, why aren't you writing comedy? Why aren't you writing TV? And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, novel thought.
Yeah, it just, you just have so much focus of getting into Hollywood that you don't really think about where are your strengths, what is really going to empower you, make you shine and you different from the rest. So I went with it. I started developing my characters of Off and Running, and I wrote what I knew, which is living in the suburbs of LA and being a new generation of Latina. That's where I started, and then started developing these characters, and then I actually wrote it as a TV pilot. It was a 45-page script. And I just said, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to see what's going to happen with my career. And then through the process of future, I have short films under my belt. I decided, the internet's the next big thing. That is the future of entertainment. And when I met Emma Kaltreiter, she had the energy, the spark that I was looking for in the character. She was becoming the character that I had envisioned. And so from that point on, I knew we'd literally be off and running. So that's where it's a very amazing energy we have behind our project, and we have the community involved. And so it's really been fun.
So Emma, maybe we can ask you now how you feel getting this started and where you're coming from, why if you have a particular affinity with this character.
Yeah. This project is amazing. October 1st, we're so excited to launch Off and Running, and just as Cheyenne said, we worked on a film together, and immediately we knew that there was some greatness there, that we could collaborate and make something beautiful. And the whole journey, just the crew is beautiful and the cast is such amazing, kind people. And that's what our show is really about. It's loving. It's you can be whatever you want to be if you put in the work and you have that support of the community that raised you. And it's just is such a beautiful project to be a part of. And that's why we're so excited.
So is being in, having watched the trailers and some of the pieces, it takes place in Whittier.
Right.
Is being, having grown up in the community part of what you're talking about?
Completely. Whittier is such a diverse and really unique place, but it represents the communities of the greater LA area and California in general, and global communities across the country. The fact that I realized, it took me a while, but I realized that it took a community effort to turn me into the person I am today, and it was every person in my life that shaped me. And that's the motif in Off and Running. Leia is this bright-eyed, determined, smart girl who embraces the people who come into her life and welcomes the gifts that they give her and is really grateful for those opportunities. So
that's the sort of an underlying theme of the show. And your term of, is it Framily?
Framily. Yes. Framily.
I guess that was it.
We love it.
Cheyenne, is that something that was part of your concept?
Yeah, I made up this word called Framily, and I hope it takes off everywhere.
Yes.
Because it really represents the new model of family, which is, no one's perfect anymore. There is no new normal. It's about who is your support group, who is your loved ones, whether it's your friend, your neighbor, your grandmother. That is the new family. So we're hoping that, our fans, I don't really like the word fan because it means that they're not a part of the project.
Yeah.
So I wanted to create this idea that we are all interconnected. And that's why we, are going to do so well on the web. And saying that means it's not just of America. It could be any part of the world where you can be part of the family. And without the audience, there is no show.
Exactly.
And I really want to make that a strong point because everybody is connected at this point in our day of technology. So I'm really excited.
So the dividing line between friends and family just doesn't exist anymore, really, because we've got so many interdependencies going on. And do you think that the people that have been helping you along the way are have they continued staying in touch? Are they continuing part of the project? And
we have every person that has come through our life from this point on is backing us like a marching band. It's been so amazing. They love the fact that this show represents just the future of the new world of technology, of having, if you want to be, if you desire, my passion is to create, wood, hand-carved wood crafts. You can be an entrepreneur and create that job and create a marketplace on the internet, and that is your forever job. So that concept of empowering the American spirit, which that's we were raised, is what is really, grabbing people's attention and like, wow, like I watched your teaser pilot and you know what? I recognize I've been working at this job for the past 10 years and it's not my forever job. And now I went off and, it's as simple as Leia just running into somebody and saying, hey, what are you? Let's make connections. And then that's what is happening in real life now. We're getting this feedback of people being inspired. And to me, that's like already a blessing. It's just being able to touch people through entertainment. I mean, what more do you need then?
Yeah, and a lot of people are watching TV via the internet anyway, so you're just kind of going...
bypassing one of the steps.
Right. It's one of the steps that's really getting a little... I don't know what the future is, really, for the regular TV networks.
And that's why our family is so important to us. The people who support us through Facebook, and they get involved in the project. Our fans become our family, and then they get involved. They help us make posters and design and whatever,
or extra work, and the free locations.
Right.
It's like, you know, people really want to see this manifest, and everyone's just putting their full effort. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to witness.
It's a participant art, really is what you've created there. And Jim, I've been wondering, as they've been describing this, does it sound familiar to you at all?
Yeah, it does. It really, no, I'm glad you asked. The wheels are always turning. For me, there's a piece here where what I see is a natural social network forming, and then of course we have our connections for formal social network. I almost think like the name of a social network, which would be interesting. You know, we've launched some for others, and it's like, but this is happening so naturally. You know what I mean? And then there's just one step away from that. So what's really coming through, and Valerie Geller said last week, your enthusiasm. I mean, when Cheyenne talks, there's just a fire about her passion, and Emma too. And so to feel that enthusiasm and to be part of it, this is exciting.